bet you didn't see this BandLab plus coffee episode coming, Johnny Boy.
Echoes of eternity.
Ooh, this is different. Gotta make room for those echoes, right? Maybe it's just strange to me. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to BandLab plus coffee. It's time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent track. Every week, I like to go kind of trolling through the featured tracks on the Explore page, and every week, there's a lot of good stuff. But every once in a while, a track hits me and I go, ooh, this is different. This is nice. And that's exactly what we have today. We have the song Echoes of Eternity by JohnyBoy. So without further ado, for me and you, let's all head to the lab. Time to wake up, wind up, and queue up with another excellent BandLab track. Over here on the lab, I got JohnyBoy. That's at JohnBoy5150, JohnBoy 5150 5150. It's strange how many people's names can be spelled out using the Mickey Mouse theme song. Maybe it's just strange to me. Anyway, out of Los Angeles, California, USA, repping 73 followers. Probably soon to be more by the sheer fact that this is excellent and also it's trending on the Explore page. The description says, expect the unexpected. I bet you didn't see this BandLab plus coffee episode coming, Johnny Boy. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. 1.19 thousand plays, 92 likes, one of which is our own. Let's take a listen. Really great atmospheric instrumental here. Good sense of space. Stuff happening over here, stuff happening over here. While we're still kind of fading in that main synth. Hup. Nice. I like the choir. Really great percussion sounds on this choir noise. Oh, interesting arrangement choice. Okay. This is something you should really make forkable, JohnyBoy, so that other people can iterate on it. I can totally see someone traversing through the jungle with this as they kind of machete through branches and vines that are in the way. And you get big drone pans over the hood of the jungle above the tree line. And just like that, oh, whoa, oh, whoa, whoa. Anytime I hear or see the words just like that, every time I log on to Max, the HBO Max, previously known as HBO Max, and the Sex and the City new version of that comes up, it's called Just Like That. I've never seen the show, but whenever it pops up on my feed and I see Just Like That, it makes me think of the TikTok trend. And every time, out loud, doesn't matter if it's 1 o'clock in the morning or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I have to go, just like that. Oh, whoa, whoa. So Forgive me. TikTok is in my head on that one. Echoes of Eternity, JohnyBoy. This is a great track. This is a really cool instrumental that gives us some really great imagery. And there's a lot to like here. The fade in, the choice of using the choir with the particular acoustic percussion that we have going on. It sounds like some more island percussion, or it gives us that middle America vibe, which probably worked towards the forest visual that I was getting, someone exploring in the forest, maybe an uncharted situation or something to that effect. Two things I love and one thing I want more of. The first thing I love here is that the sounds are all over the place. And what I mean by that is panning. I recently saw a post by BandLab talking about panning instruments and how that can really help your productions. It's true, and you should do it. But in this case, if we hit play here as everything starts to fade in, not only do we have kind of a ping pong of the synth, wum, 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 wum. Some of my drums are over here. Some of my drums are over here, so it's like a boom, 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 boom. While the synth comes straight up the middle at us and is our main focal point. Boom, 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 boom. And that's a really great way of doing things. It keeps our attention where it should be. Now we bring in the choir. And I do hear a few different layers of that where I get them going to different places. But for the most part, I'm getting a lot of the main melody down the center. So for the first thing I love, it's the panning. The panning in this is great. It gives my ears lots to do. And as someone who likes to have lots to do with their ears, this is excellent. So thank you for that. The second thing I love is actually the choice of using this choir. And not only the choir, but you'll hear the main choir, which I believe is coming up the middle. I don't know how many layers of it there are, but then you hear a background choral space, which it sounds like has more reverb on it, or at least is a little more warm. Maybe we've taken out some of the high end in that. I don't know if it's a sample or if you recorded it, but when we record, you can hear what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make a very large sound, a very large space, moving things left and right. So the panning is the first thing I love. And the second thing I love is the addition of this choir, because it takes it from a jaunt through the jungle to an epic exploration of the jungle, which is a natural progression of the initial synth. So, great job. These were really great sound choices that give us a really vivid picture in our minds and allow us to continue moving through the song with you rather than taking us out of it. Up. Yeah. Now here's the deal. For the one thing I want more of, it's a mixing adjustment. What I want more of is I hear in this track that we have a lot of elements fighting for the main thing that our ears should be doing. It sounds, I'm willing to be wrong, it sounds like the leveling of the different elements of the track. We do have the really loud initial choir, but I'm missing some of the depth or some of the scope on this choir to make it more epic, to make it as epic as it could be. When it comes to something like a choir, I mean, we're looking at a 10 voice minimum to get that sound, or maybe 6 tracks, 2 up the middle, 2 halfway panned, and 2 completely panned with different parts and spreaders and verb and things that make them feel big. It sounds like we have some reverb on the sides. But for the most part, I'm hearing kind of a dry choir. And all that means to me is that we don't have a lot of ambience on our choir, which makes them not uninteresting, but a little less interesting than they could be. So this is excellent. I chose this song because it struck my attention and kept it. But what I want to hear to take this from good to great is I want to hear that choir realized in a way that makes them more warm, that makes them a little less sounding like it was played on a keyboard and a little more like it was sung into a microphone. And one of the ways to do this is to create an ambient space. Where would you normally hear a choir? Would you normally hear them stab through a mix in that way as if they were one person? No, you'd probably hear it sound like a lot of people. So you wouldn't align them as strictly as you would a single vocal or a double or even harmonies to one person singing. You would give them the ability to be themselves. When you record, you would create different variations of people singing as if you are different people. You go, oh, oh, and then you go, oh, and you go, oh, right? You want different people singing the same notes to create a choir, because a choir is made up of different people, and all those voices blend together to become this really big ambient thing. So first and foremost, I would say create the space, which I think for you is just going to be the addition of some delay as if we're inside of a cathedral. And then I would probably use an EQ to lower some of the high end just a little bit to keep them from stabbing through and being harsh, so that they blend a little bit more with each other as more of an amalgamous situation. And then I would probably delay EQ and then verb it out as if we're in the same space. And the echoes and the doubles can have more reverb, while the main 4 or 5 voices, if you want it to be an ensemble, can have a little less reverb. Either way, when you close your eyes and listen, you want less of like a person or a synthesizer in the space and more of people in the space. So I know that we more than likely are using a synthesizer to do the do 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 do. But if we warm that up and we add some space to it and we let the really stick out a little bit more, I think you're going to have more of a choral effect that'll make everything super epic. Really dig on this track, JohnyBoy. Everyone should jump over to BandLab and follow at JohnyBoy 5150 out of Los Angeles, California. And you know what? While you're over on the lab following JohnyBoy, I think you should also give a follow to DJTatious. That's me. And you can follow me on YouTube, BandLab, or wherever you choose to consume your social media. In the meantime, thanks so much for waking up, winding up, and queuing up another excellent track and bringing your coffee to the lab. We'll see you next time.